All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 watches that I recommend for Father's Day, and they're all under $500. You want to know what they are? Hold tight. All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today, I'm talking about my top 5 picks for Father's Day watches that are under $500. Now, I'm going to get right into my first one, and I'm going to start off with the cheapest. That's the Citizen Promaster Automatic Diver. Now, I've done several videos on this watch. I love it. I think it's probably the best buy today for a true ISO certified diver. Now, let's get into the specs. You got a case diameter of 42 millimeters. You've got a lug-to-lug of 48 millimeters. You got a case thickness of 12.8 millimeters. Lug width, 20 millimeters. Now, you've got a 200 meter water resist true ISO certified diver, screw down crown at the 8 o'clock position. Now, the movement is the Miyota 8203 or 8204, depending on which variation you get. Both are hand wound automatic movements. Now, with this watch, there are a lot of variations you can pick from. You've got black dial, blue dial. You've got a full lume, which is kind of the yellow looking dial. You've got a Pepsi bezel, Coke bezel, and a green bezel. Now, the best place that I see for pricing right now is Joma Shop. You can purchase these also on Amazon. They're a little more expensive on Amazon, but right now, Joma Shop's got almost all of these under $200. Now, if I was giving this as a gift, I probably would get it on the rubber strap because the bracelet isn't that great. This would allow them to pick something else to swap out that rubber strap. But again, not a fan of the bracelet. Get it on the rubber strap and save some money. Now, moving on, my next favorite is the Seiko 5 Sports 38 millimeter automatic. This is the model SRPK 29. Now, this is 38 millimeters, so if your dad's got smaller wrist or wears watches that are a little bit smaller, this is probably going to be a good pick. Now, case diameter 38 millimeters, lug to lug 44 millimeters. You've got a case thickness of 12 millimeters. Lug width is 20 millimeters. Now, 100 meter water resist movement is the automatic 4R36. Again, you got a hand wound automatic movement. This one comes in a lot of different variations as well. You can get a black dial, which is my favorite. You can also get a cream dial, teal, or orange. I think you're safe to go with the black. Everyone's going to like that. Maybe the orange if you've seen him wear another orange face watch. This is a great watch, and normally you're going to pick this up for around $200 to $235 is what I'm seeing. You can get these on Amazon. You can get them on Joma Shop. But again, don't pay more than $235. That's about the top that I'm seeing for this watch. Anybody would love to have it. Moving on is another Seiko. And I'm going to say this is probably one of my top picks. I really like this watch. I don't know any dad that would not love getting this as a gift. It's a Seiko 5 GMT automatic. This is the SSK 001. This is the model that is my favorite. This is a black dial with a black and gray bezel. Now let's get into the specs on the watch. You got a 42.5 millimeter case diameter. Lug to lug is 46 millimeter. So this is probably going to be a watch for someone with 6.5 inch or larger wrist. Case thickness is 13.4 millimeters. Lug width is 22 millimeters. Water resistance of 100 meters. Now the movement in this one is the 4R34 automatic hand wound movement. Bracelet is Jubilee style and I think looks amazing. Now this one comes in a lot of different color options. You've got the black dial with the black and gray bezel. You've got a gray dial with a kind of a Pepsi insert with red and blue accents. You've got a gray dial with black and gray bezel that's got gold accents. Then you've got a yellow dial and a blue dial. So you've got a lot to choose from. I think if you want to play it safe, get this SSK 001 black dial, black and gray bezel. It's classic, looks good. Don't think you can go wrong with that watch. Again, you can pick these up running between $320, $340. That's a steal for a GMT. Now, if you're not familiar with what a GMT is, that allows you to track 2 different time zones on one watch. So if your dad's a watch collector or travels a lot, definitely going to love this, being able to track 2 different time zones. Normally you would pay a lot more to get a GMT function in another watch. Next is the Glycine Sub GMT 42, another GMT which allows you to track 2 different time zones. This is an automatic. This is the GL0381. This is the black dial and the Pepsi bezel. This is just a classic looking watch. You got a 42 millimeter case diameter. Now lug to lug is a little bit larger at 49.5. So I think you're going to want this for somebody that's getting close to a 7-inch wrist, because that lug to lug is going to wear larger on skinnier wrists. You've got a case thickness of 10.85 millimeters, lug width 22 millimeters, water resist 200 meters, screw down crown. Now this is a hand wound automatic movement. This is the GL293. Now what I like about this is this movement is actually a Swiss made movement based on the Sellita SW330-1. So now we've moved out of the Seikos and we've stepped up to a Swiss made watch, Swiss made movement. Now the other thing that I like about this is the first one we're going to talk about with a sapphire crystal. The other 2 are mineral. This is a sapphire crystal with a Cyclops date. If you're not familiar with the Cyclops date is, that's the little magnifier over the date. Typically you would see this on a Rolex watch, gives it a richer look. I love it. Now the other thing with this is the bracelet is stainless steel, oyster style. This is a beautiful watch, really. The only problem I have with it is the lug to lug being 49.5. It definitely wouldn't work on my skinny wrist. But other than that, getting a Swiss made watch for $466 right now is how much this watch is going for. Now, if you're going to buy it, go to ashford.com. They don't sponsor me, but Ashford right now, they are a authorized dealer of Glycine, and they've got a grads and dads sale going on right now. This watch right now, $466. Highly recommend it, and that is a great deal for a Swiss made GMT. Definitely recommend this watch. My last one, I think every dad's got to have a Hamilton in his collection. It's the Hamilton Khaki King Automatic. I had this watch a while back, but it just wore too large on my wrist. But otherwise, I thought it was beautiful. The specs on this thing, it's only 40 millimeter case diameter, but the lug to lug is 50 millimeters. So my skinny wrist, the lugs kind of hung off of the edge and just didn't look right. But that's my only complaint. Beautiful watch. Case thickness, 11 millimeters. Lug width, 20 millimeters. You've got a water resistance of 50 meters. The movement is the Hamilton H10. Again, you're getting a hand wound automatic movement. Now this is Swiss made. You've got a leather strap, sapphire crystal on this one again, and you've got this full day display and date right under it. So this is technically a field watch, but this is a great one and done watch that he could wear. It's really a sport watch, but easily transitions into a dress watch. I loved mine, just wore a little too big. I think this is a great watch. Now, you can get these right at $495. You don't need to pay more than that. Check out Joma Shop or look for a sale, but you shouldn't have to pay over $495 for a Hamilton Khaki King. Now, there is the Hamilton Khaki. You'll notice the difference because it does not have that full written out day on the dial. So this is the Khaki King, and you'll also notice that it has the crown guards. Awesome watch. Like any dad would love any of these watches. Don't think you can go wrong. If there's one that I missed that you're thinking about that I should have talked about, put it in the comments below, guys. And as always, I appreciate you tuning in. Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.